Welcome, Cav fans, to Coach's Corner, and thanks for joining me on this Tuesday night of St. Henry week. So that's always an exciting week for all of us, and we're looking forward to the challenge. A good St. Henry football team that we're going to go over to St. Henry on Friday night, 7:30 start time. And let's back up and review the Anna game last week. Unfortunately, we lost that game 21-20 in a really a heck of a game. I guess if you're from fan standpoint, exciting game, and in the second half, 7-7 at half, and both teams scored 2 touchdowns in the second half, and a really exciting game. Unfortunately, it rained the whole game, so for fans and for us, the weather conditions were not the greatest, but hard fought game, and as we look back on that game, we're disappointed and frustrated with the loss, simply because of the way it ended. Anna scored with about 1:36, I think it was, and they went for 2 and got it. And so we come back with a really good kickoff return, a couple quick passes and got out of bounds. Cole makes a nice catch down to the 3-yard line, and as the clock was running down, we ran one play, I guess 2 plays on the ground, and we didn't get in. And then on the third play, unfortunately, we had an exchange issue, and it was a combination of 2 or 3 things, but that's beside the point. We had a timeout left, so we felt really good. There was only 20 seconds, I think, so we were going to run the play and try to score. And if we don't get it, we take a timeout and kick the field goal. But it was a hard-fought game. We didn't play great. We had 3 uncharacteristic turnovers. We had a couple drops that we usually don't have. But we fought hard, and there was no lack of effort. There was no lack of focus on looking ahead towards St. Henry or anything like that. Just sometimes things happen, and the weather conditions certainly didn't help. But hats off to Anna. They came in and played hard and played well, and I guess we're 1 yard away from keeping that unbeaten season. So I told the kids on Friday night, everything that we goals that we had are still available. If we can win the last 2 games, we could still be co-champs in the league. We're going to make the playoffs, so those 2 things are intact. So you got to let it go and move on. And there wasn't any yelling and screaming. And when you lose a game, the kids need you more than when you win it. And I'm proud of the kids the way they handled it. They were frustrated, they were disappointed, but and yet, they handled it and took it like men. So we move on. We move on to St. Henry. St. Henry comes in at 6-2. 6-2. They are in our region. This is a huge ball game for them, as we all are looking to get into the playoffs. And a victory for St. Henry this week would put them in. We are locked in. We have clinched a playoff spot, but certainly we want to end the season with a couple wins. Like I said, St. Henry 6-2. A couple things jump out. Number one, I think they're leading the league in fewest points given up, so that's a good sign for their defense. They have a lot of senior players that are starting, and senior players that are starting both ways. So I'm sure it's a group that's feel a sense of urgency to get in the playoffs, to beat Coldwater, to make a run in the playoffs. So I'm sure they're coming in feeling really good. They beat a pretty good Minster team a couple weeks ago handily. They beat Fort Recovery last week in the rain game, and a good hard-fought ball game. So offensively, they are old school I formation for the most part. They have a really good running tailback, and the quarterback does a good job with some boots and some passes, and so they're a good team. They're a good team defensively. They're a 3-4 base defense, but they blitz a lot, and they do some different types of blitzes that have caused us some problems over the years. So it's a good matchup. We're looking forward to the challenge at St. Henry, 7:30 Friday night. My senior spotlight this week focuses on 3 seniors, obviously. 3 defensive guys are all in the cell. All their numbers are 60. So we have Reese Thomas, who's number 62, Evan Dysert, 64, and Ryan Liger, 68. So Reese is one of our linebackers, And Reese is an undersized guy, probably linebacker, but he's a tough dude, and he's a good wrestler. And so he just brings that toughness. He's a really quiet young man that really we weren't sure if he would be a starter this year, but he's proven that he's out there quite a bit on the defense, and especially against the run team. So this is a good week for him to be out there. Evan Dysert, again, he's an undersized. We always seem to have one undersized defensive lineman. He's about 190 pounds, 185 pounds, playing nose guard for us. In our defense this year, we have a nose quite a bit of the time, and he's just an aggressive, quick, tough kid. So he's done a really good job for us. Stays on the line of scrimmage and makes plays and really sacrifices himself for those linebackers. And then Ryan Ligers, number 68, again, is an undersized defensive end for us. And he's also been our long snapper for the last 2 years and done a great job with that, both punt and field goal PAT. So we never have to worry about those. So he's done a great job there. And he's playing defensive end for us. So he's out there quite a bit. And like I've said about several of our guys, these three guys are team guys. They've waited their turn as seniors to be starters. They're all three good students. They're just good guys to have on our team. They do what they're asked to do. They all play scout team for us when we're on offense, and so they're very unselfish. So we're really glad to have Ryan and Reese and Evan on our squad this year, and wish them the best of luck as we go into these last two games, and hopefully they play well and we get victories. Shane continues to rehab and be home, and I think he told me he's going to start school maybe tomorrow. So I'll double check on that, and hopefully when I report back next week that we're seeing him at school, and hopefully he continues to improve and go through rehab and get those legs back eventually. So Friday night, the backyard brawl over at St. Henry. We're looking to play well and bounce back and come back with a victory and enjoy that Friday night.